What if just 7 days stood between you and the strongest version of yourself? What if you didn't need more time but more intensity, more honesty, and one bold decision? And what if, by the end of this week, the person in the mirror no longer looked like the one you've always known but someone completely transformed? As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." It's a reminder that growth always requires a farewell, sometimes to a version of ourselves we've clung to for far too long. And today, that farewell begins. What if I told you that in just 7 days, you could reinvent your entire life, not by adding a few new habits or tweaking your routine, but by becoming someone so radically different that even those closest to you would have to stop and look twice? This isn't fantasy. It's not some overhyped challenge or a motivational cliché. This is a disciplined, raw, and precise plan to re-engineer your identity from the inside out. You don't need a year. You don't even need a month. You need 1 week, 7 days of relentless dedication, and when it's over, you won't just feel different. You'll be unrecognizable. This journey is about changing how you think, how you act, and how you live. It's about confronting the self-destructive patterns that have kept you stuck and replacing them with intention, with strength, and with purpose. It's about building a life that commands respect, not just from others, but from yourself. No more waiting for life to happen to you. No more drifting. From this point forward, you're the one deciding who you become. Because the truth is, you already have more power than you think. You've simply forgotten how to use it. People who transform their lives in powerful, dramatic ways don't sit around waiting for the right time. They don't wait until they feel ready. They act now. They understand that the future version of themselves won't magically appear one day. It must be created, forged, and earned through immediate action. Change doesn't always take years. Sometimes, all it takes is one sharp decision, made in a moment of clarity followed by days of unwavering action. And that's what this week is, a decision backed by fire. By the time these 7 days are over, you will not be the same. Your mind, your body, and your daily habits will all begin to reflect the strength and clarity of the person you are becoming. If you've ever wished for a reset button in life, this is it. But be warned, it only works if you're ready to give everything you have. No half effort, no excuses, no more playing small. If you're finally ready to take full control of your future, then listen closely. Your transformation begins now. Day 1. Destroy the old self. Before anything can be built, something must be broken. And today, your only mission is simple but not easy. Destroy the old you. This isn't symbolic, it's strategic. You must become fully aware of what has kept you trapped: the habits, the self-doubt, the comfort zones, the narratives you've repeated so many times they've begun to feel like truth. This is the moment where you look in the mirror with brutal honesty and take complete ownership of everything that isn't aligned with the life you claim to want. Change demands sacrifice, and today, you are choosing to sacrifice the old self in exchange for a stronger, sharper, more capable version of you. But don't mistake this for a simple reflection exercise. This is a commitment with no reverse gear. There's no going back. From this point forward, you stop tolerating mediocrity, stop making excuses, And stop hiding from the weight of your own potential. Will it be uncomfortable? Absolutely. But let's be honest, the discomfort of change is nothing compared to the lifelong pain of staying the same. You've just made the bold decision to destroy your old self, but that destruction comes with pain, with resistance, with a fight. And now, it's time to lean into the discomfort. Because that discomfort is the birthplace of real transformation. Every meaningful change begins with a moment of unease, a tightening in your chest, a voice in your head telling you to retreat. Why? Because your mind resists change. It fears what it doesn't fully understand. The unfamiliar feels dangerous, even when it's good for you. But understand this clearly, that fear is nothing more than a wall. And you were never meant to live behind walls. You are the architect of your destiny. And starting today, you're building a new you, not with hope or wishful thinking, but with deliberate effort and relentless courage. To truly destroy the old self, you have to go deeper than merely admitting your flaws. You have to dismantle the very mental architecture that's kept you stuck in place. Begin asking yourself the hard questions. What fears have quietly dictated my decisions? What excuses have I been hiding behind to avoid action? What comfortable routines have quietly turned into cages? Awareness is only the beginning. Yes, it's powerful, but it's passive until you act. Real growth begins the moment awareness turns into action. The tighter you cling to who you used to be, the harder it will be to grow into who you're meant to become. And that's why you must understand, your past doesn't own you. Your old identity, shaped by failures, regrets, and self-doubt, was useful once. It taught you lessons, but it has no place in the future you're building. Now comes the next critical step, a symbolic act of separation. Acknowledge your old self, not with shame, but with clarity. That version of you got you here. It had value, but it's done its job. Now, celebrate its end. Take a piece of paper and write down every excuse, every bad habit, every behavior you know you must leave behind. Be honest, be thorough, then destroy it, burn it, tear it up, bury it, do whatever you must to physically mark this emotional transformation. Why? Because when your body participates in a ritual, your subconscious takes it seriously. This isn't just a dramatic gesture, it's a commitment, a declaration. You're telling your brain, I'm done living by those patterns. This is a new era. This is your rebirth, a psychological reset that signals to your entire being that you are done playing small and ready to step into your true strength. But remember, this is still only day one. The war against your old self is not a single battle. It's a continuous campaign. From this moment forward, every decision you make must reflect the person you are becoming. You've already crossed the line. There's no turning back now. So when doubt creeps in, when the old habits start whispering for your attention, stop and remind yourself, I am not that person anymore. You are evolving, you are elevating, you are stepping into a version of yourself you've never fully met before but have always known was waiting inside. And yes, the path ahead demands resilience, discipline, and a belief in your capacity to grow that never wavers, even on your hardest days. But that version of you, the one you admire, is waiting just beyond the destruction of the old. So now, take a brutally honest look at your current life. Are you waking up late and starting the day with regret? Are you wasting time on mindless scrolling and hollow entertainment? Are you surrounded by people who stunt your growth instead of fueling it? You've begun identifying the behaviors and patterns that no longer serve your future and now. It's time to clean house. Not just mentally, but emotionally and physically. To evolve, you must clear the path ahead, starting with everything that quietly drains your energy and distracts you from your purpose. Grab a pen, take a deep breath. Now, write it all down: every person, habit, or behavior that pulls you backward instead of pushing you forward. Is it smoking? Laziness? Constant procrastination, or that creeping voice of self-doubt? Whatever it is, bring it into the light. You cannot eliminate what you haven't clearly identified. The truth is, the smallest habits often cause the greatest stagnation. So be honest, ruthless, even. This is your life. This is your transformation. Now look even deeper. What are your emotional crutches? Are you reaching for food when you're stressed? Are you scrolling endlessly through social media to escape the discomfort of real life? Is mindless entertainment helping you avoid your responsibilities? These habits may feel harmless, but they are distractions dressed in comfort. Recognize them, then begin cutting them out one by one. It's time to eliminate every distraction, without hesitation. Delete the apps that eat up your time. Block the websites that drain your productivity. Remove yourself from the people who consistently bring you down. Set clear boundaries. Guard your time like it's gold, because it is. Your energy is not for everyone. Your attention is not free. Now shift your focus to your space. Your mind will always reflect the environment it lives in. So detox both. Clean your room. Organize your desk. Get rid of clutter physically and digitally. Create an atmosphere where clarity, not chaos, leads. Then comes a powerful ritual. Write a letter of resignation to your old self. Yes, literally. Write down everything you're letting go of. Every excuse, every toxic habit, every trait you no longer wish to carry. Acknowledge the past version of you with respect. It got you this far. But make it clear, you're not staying there. You're moving on. Once the letter is done, don't just file it away. Destroy it, burn it, tear it, bury it, whatever makes it feel final and real. Why? Because this act isn't about drama. It's about commitment. When you perform a physical act of separation, your subconscious gets the message. This is over. That moment, watching the flames, the ashes, the shredded pieces, is when the old you dies, and the new you begins to rise. This is your psychological rebirth, your internal reset, the moment when you stop hoping for change and start living it. And with this act complete, we step into the next chapter of your transformation. After writing your letter of resignation to the old self and burning it down to ashes, you've taken the first real step toward transformation. Now, it's time to move from the mental to the physical, to reshape the vessel that carries your mind. Day 2. Physical reinvention. Your body is not just the shell you live in. It is the first reflection of your discipline, your self-respect, and your inner strength. If your body is weak, chances are your mindset has been living in comfort. If your movements are sluggish, your thoughts likely follow the same rhythm. To transform your life, you must start with the body. Avoiding discomfort might feel safe, but it leads to weakness. Embracing hardship, on the other hand, builds power. By willingly pushing yourself physically, you cultivate the strength needed to face life's trials, not just survive them, but rise through them with courage and control. This journey is not about aesthetics. It's about embodying the core Stoic values: discipline, endurance, and perseverance. The body might grow tired. It might shake, but a mind trained through physical discomfort becomes unshakable. To become unrecognizable in just 7 days, you must practice what the Stoics called voluntary discomfort. You must train not like someone chasing fitness goals, but like a warrior preparing for battle. A battle not just against physical pain, but against inner resistance, weakness, doubt, hesitation, and apathy. The new you is not built in comfort. It is forged in effort. Push yourself past the point where you normally stop. Go beyond your current limits. Engage in rigorous training that challenges both your muscles and your mental walls. When your body endures more, your mind starts to believe it can endure more too. That's where the shift happens. Discipline is built through action. Lift weights to gain strength. Run to train your endurance. Stretch daily to avoid stiffness in body and in mind. Take cold showers to condition yourself against ease and comfort. Perform drills that test your balance, your focus, your reaction time. These aren't just physical tasks. They're mental lessons in disguise. And if you're older or limited physically, this path still welcomes you. You don't need intense workouts to commit to the process. A daily walk, 10 minutes of stretching, or light resistance movements are enough as long as they're done with consistency and intention. Simple, steady actions compound. Light resistance maintains muscle. Yoga increases balance and flexibility. Breathing exercises calm your nervous system and sharpen clarity. Even gardening, swimming, or dancing can be forms of intentional movement. Enjoy what you do, and you'll stick with it. And when you're consistent, your body rewards you with vitality, balance, and strength no matter your age. But movement alone isn't enough. What you feed your body will either fuel your transformation or sabotage it. Remove the poisons. Say goodbye to processed foods. Cut back or eliminate sugar and alcohol. Stop feeding the fog in your brain. These things may give short pleasure, but they rob you of long-term strength and clarity. They dull your energy, blur your focus, and keep you from becoming the sharp, disciplined person you aim to be. Instead, fuel your body like it matters, because it does. Eat whole foods. Prioritize lean proteins. Drink more water. Choose nutrient-rich options that give sustained energy and restore you from within. After taking full command of your body, your fuel now becomes just as critical as your movement. Because true transformation requires more than just training, it demands conscious recovery and intentional nourishment. Start by focusing on what supports your body at the cellular level. Incorporate superfoods into your daily meals: dark leafy greens, antioxidant-rich berries, healthy fats from nuts and seeds. These aren't just trendy additions, they're nutrient powerhouses that accelerate healing, reduce inflammation, and enhance your body's performance. Hydration is equally essential. You may not realize it, but even slight dehydration can fog your thinking, sap your physical strength, and drastically slow your progress. Water isn't just for survival, it's a key that unlocks higher focus, better digestion, sharper cognition, and even emotional balance. When your body lacks water, it feels dull, heavy, and fatigued, but when it's properly hydrated, it functions like a well-oiled machine, efficient, responsive, and ready to rise to any challenge. Make it your goal to drink at least half your body weight in ounces of water daily, and more if you're training hard. This simple practice alone can shift your energy and mental sharpness in powerful ways. Because remember, your body is your temple, and today, you're not just maintaining it, you're reclaiming it. But don't stop at food and water. Start paying close attention to everything you consume, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. What kind of media are you taking in? What conversations do you allow to shape your mood? What kind of thoughts are you feeding your inner world? Everything that enters your system through your mouth, your ears, your eyes shapes your identity. Every single input has an effect. So train yourself to become mindful. Choose what supports your transformation. Filter what doesn't. Carry yourself as the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. Build rituals around conscious eating. Slow down. Chew your food. Taste every bite. Appreciate what it's doing for your body. Mindless snacking is a form of self-neglect. Replace it with intentional fueling. Every meal is an opportunity to reinforce your goals. Design a diet plan that supports your transformation, not just for today, but for the long run. Sustainability is key. Fuel your body with clean energy and high-quality protein that builds strength and feeds clarity. Remove the foods that sabotage your mission: processed junk, sugary temptations, alcohol that numbs instead of empowers. And as you nourish from the inside, don't forget to refine the outside. Improve your posture. Stand tall. Move with awareness. Exude quiet confidence and purpose through your body language. How you carry yourself sends a message, first to others, but more importantly, to yourself. Set a clear, daily workout regimen. Whether you choose walking, running, lifting, calisthenics, or boxing, the method doesn't matter as much as the consistency and intensity. Push your body to go beyond yesterday's limits. And here's a powerful exercise. Take a before photo today. 1 week from now, take another. You'll be stunned at what 7 days of intentional, disciplined living can do, not just physically, but energetically. The version of you staring back from that second photo? That's someone the world won't recognize, but you will. You've cleansed your body, sharpened your posture, and begun fueling yourself with power. But now, it's time to enter the control center of your entire being, your mind. Because no matter how strong your body becomes, it's your thoughts that determine how far you'll go. Day 3. Mental upgrade. Changing your life begins with changing how you think, but it doesn't end there. Awareness is only the first step. It opens the door, but action is what drives lasting transformation. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that our experience of reality isn't shaped by what happens to us but by how we perceive it. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That single line carries the core of mental mastery. If you can control your inner world, you can overcome anything in the outer world. To truly master your mind, you must train yourself to control your perceptions, your reactions, and your inner dialogue. Life will bring challenges, that's a guarantee, but the way you respond to those challenges determines the direction of your growth. Where most people see obstacles, the Stoic sees training grounds, a chance to build resilience, a moment to strengthen the mental muscles most ignore. Seneca, one of Stoicism's great teachers, recommended voluntary discomfort: sleep on the floor, skip a meal, step into the cold, not to punish yourself but to remind yourself that comfort is a luxury, not a need. When you deliberately remove your dependency on external comfort, something incredible happens. You become stronger, more adaptable, more free. You realize you're capable of surviving and thriving under any condition. The Stoics didn't just prepare for adversity, they welcomed it. They also knew the war within was more dangerous than any external battle. And that's why controlling your inner dialogue is a non-negotiable part of your transformation. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That idea is a weapon and you must wield it daily. Start by rewiring the way you speak to yourself. Eliminate weak, self-defeating phrases. Stop saying "I can't." Say, "I'll figure it out." Don't say, "I don't know." Say, "I'll learn." Speak with power, not passivity. Because the words you use even in your head shape your reality. They define your identity. If your inner voice is filled with doubt, your actions will mirror hesitation. But if your inner voice radiates belief, your actions will follow with strength, decisiveness, and confidence. The Stoics also emphasized mindfulness, the art of being fully present, and not allowing outside noise to shake your inner calm. This doesn't mean ignoring the world. It means anchoring yourself, especially when the world gets loud. Train yourself to focus only on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. Cut the weight of unnecessary worry. Stay composed, even when things around you spiral. A true Stoic doesn't react. He responds with clarity, with wisdom, with emotional control. And then, go one step further. Embrace the powerful Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate. Don't just tolerate your hardships. Don't just endure them, welcome them. Why? Because every challenge, every unexpected turn, every discomfort is a stepping stone toward who you are becoming. When you stop wishing for an easier path and start seeing every event as essential to your growth, you dissolve fear, you strip away frustration, you silence doubt. When Stoic principles are fully integrated into your mindset, you develop a mental resilience that nothing can shake. One of the most vital Stoic principles that fuels mental transformation is memento mori, remember that you will die. At first glance, it may sound grim, but this truth isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. The Stoics didn't obsess over death, they used it to focus the mind. They understood that life is fleeting. Time is slipping through your fingers every second. And once it's gone, you don't get it back. Every hour you spend in hesitation, every moment wasted in fear or self-doubt, is a moment of life you'll never reclaim. That's why memento mori is a powerful motivator, not to rush, but to act with clarity and purpose. If today were your last day, would you waste it scrolling? Would you spend it arguing, hiding, or putting off your potential? The Stoics would urge you, live with urgency. Make decisions with sharp clarity. Approach each day as your final chance to improve, not someday today. By adopting this mindset, you train your brain to embrace discomfort, to shift perception, and to take full control of your emotional responses. That is the path to mental mastery. And mental mastery is the key to becoming truly unshakable. To live as a Stoic is to understand this truth. No one else is responsible for your life. Not your past, not your upbringing, not the world, just you. No hardship, no failure, no criticism has the power to define you unless you allow it to. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from self-mastery. And once you claim that freedom, your mind becomes your most powerful asset, guiding you through every trial with calmness, certainty, and resolve. Rewiring your mind requires deliberate action. This isn't passive work. Feed your mind high-quality content. Read books that challenge and elevate your thinking. Watch educational, philosophical videos that stir deep awareness. Surround yourself with people who stretch your thoughts, not shrink them. And just as importantly, eliminate noise. Cut out the content that reinforces your old limitations, empty news, numbing entertainment, toxic social media. These things keep you small. Start a daily journaling practice. Track your mental patterns. Write down the beliefs that have held you back and actively rewrite them into empowering statements. If a thought says, "I'm not good enough," write the opposite. "I'm in the process of becoming unstoppable." Mental strength is not built through ease. It is forged in adversity. Seek challenges. Chase discomfort. Cold showers. Physical endurance. Fasting. These are not punishments, they are training tools. Every time you do what's uncomfortable, you reclaim control over your nervous system, your habits, your life. Practice visualization daily. Close your eyes. See your future self, not a fantasy, but a version of you grounded in clarity. How does that person walk? How do they speak? What do they tolerate and what do they no longer accept? Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experiences. So when you visualize repeatedly, your brain starts to accept it as reality. Pair this with positive affirmations, and your internal identity will begin to shift. But here's the key. Don't just think like your future self, act like them. Walk like them, speak like them, decide like them. Train your brain through repetition. Your identity is not something you achieve someday, it's something you embody now. Adjust your habits to match your highest potential. Every action should reinforce your direction. Monitor your speech. Eliminate weak words. "I can't," "maybe," "I don't know." Replace them with certainty. "I will," "I choose," "I know how to find the answer." Write down the mindset of your future self. Study it, practice it, live it, because from this day forward, you are no longer trying to become that person. You are already living as that person. Day 4. Social presence and command. If people continue to see you as the old version of yourself, they will continue to treat you that way. That ends today. You are no longer just reshaping your mindset. You are now shaping the way the world perceives you and, more importantly, the way you carry yourself within it. Start by standing tall. Adjust your posture. Ground your feet. Lift your chin. Straighten your spine. Posture alone changes how people perceive you and how you perceive yourself. Weak posture invites hesitation. Strong posture signals inner strength. Eliminate hesitation from your voice and your body language. The world doesn't respond to nervous energy. It responds to certainty. Speak slowly, clearly, and only when necessary. Say less but make every word count. Master the power of silence. Those who truly command attention don't rush to fill the room with noise. They project calm power with deliberate speech and confident stillness. When you learn to be silent with purpose, your presence becomes magnetic. You draw others in without even trying. Presence isn't just how you act, it's how you make people feel. Long after your words are forgotten, what lingers is the emotion you left behind. Did you inspire calm, respect, intrigue, or did you fade into the background? Cultivate an aura of purpose. Let your body language do the speaking before your mouth does. Walk with control, move with direction, and when you enter a room, make sure your presence is felt before you say a single word. Your energy should speak first. Today, take time to study yourself in the mirror. How do you move? How do you stand? Do you avoid eye contact or hold it with calm composure? Make adjustments. Find that delicate space where you appear approachable but also unshakably strong. Because powerful presence isn't loud. It's not arrogant. It's quiet confidence, the kind that radiates from someone who knows their worth and no longer has to prove it. Every detail matters. Every glance, every step, every tone in your voice. These small cues tell the world who you are and, more importantly, who you've become. Walk with purpose. Take up space without apology. Speak with clarity and conviction. You don't have to shout to be heard, you just have to speak like you mean every word. The Stoics understood this perfectly. True presence isn't about dominance, it's about self-possession. It's about carrying yourself in a way that reflects discipline, character, and internal mastery. Marcus Aurelius said it best: waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's your mission today, not to convince others, but to live in alignment with the identity you've been building. Embody the strength, focus, and grace of a Stoic. Don't react to your environment, lead it with your energy. Whether you're in a crowd or standing alone, let your composure remain untouched. Speak less, mean more. Control your breath, control your posture, control your tone. These are not small details. These are the building blocks of true authority. Seneca emphasized this as well. Speech that is restrained is better than speech that is excessive. So don't rush to reply. Don't compete to be heard. Speak only when you've chosen your words, then let them land. Even your breathing is a reflection of your inner state. That's why the Stoics practiced controlled breathing techniques to stay calm under pressure. Centered in chaos. Before you step into any room, take a breath, hold your power, step in with unshaken resolve. And to solidify this presence even further, the Stoics used a powerful technique called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. They imagined what could go wrong before it did, so they would never be surprised, shaken, or thrown off center. After you've learned to walk into a room with powerful silence, it's time to strengthen that from within so your presence becomes impossible to ignore. Every situation, whether it's a challenging conversation, a high-stakes negotiation, or a socially intimidating environment, demands one thing: mental readiness. You must prepare your mind in advance so that when pressure arises, you don't crumble, you rise. Don't wait until the spotlight is on you to find composure. Train for it in advance. Visualize the moment before it arrives. Imagine the discomfort. Imagine the stakes. Then see yourself staying calm, staying firm, staying grounded. Because commanding presence isn't about demanding attention, it's about making your presence undeniable. When you walk into a room with self-mastery, discipline, and quiet control, people notice. Not because you ask them to, but because they can feel it. Your energy becomes a gravitational pull. You don't shout, you don't shrink, you simply are centered, composed, and deeply rooted. But this presence doesn't begin with posture or voice, it begins with thought. Your internal dialogue shapes your external energy. If you walk into a space believing you're insignificant, that belief leaks into your stance, your eye contact, your energy. The room will reflect back what you bring in. You must shift that story. Tell yourself you belong in every room you enter. You're not intruding, you're arriving. Train yourself to move like you're meant to be there. Walk as if the space was made for you. Not with arrogance, but with purpose. Start each day by visualizing yourself as someone of influence, strength, and calm conviction. Speak to yourself as a leader would. Affirm your worth. Acknowledge your growth. Silence the voice that says you're not enough and replace it with one that says I am ready. Confidence begins within. And what you whisper to yourself becomes what the world believes about you. Now, amplify that inner confidence with your voice. Slow down your speech. Don't rush to be heard. When you speak, make every word land with intention. Articulate clearly. Maintain a steady tone. Your voice should reflect clarity, control, and calm power. Whether you're in a casual chat or delivering a serious message, make your words purposeful. Speak to be remembered, not just heard. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with certainty and rhythm. Study the great speakers. Watch how they pause, how they use silence like punctuation. Mimic their measured pace. Learn the strength behind stillness. Mastering your voice ensures that your presence stays with people, even after you've walked away. But presence isn't only about voice or posture, it's also visual. Dress with intent, groom with care, present yourself in a way that aligns with the life you're building, not the one you're leaving behind. When you look polished, put together, and intentional, it reinforces how you feel about yourself and how the world responds to you. Appearance speaks, and in a world of first impressions, use it to your advantage. Invest in how you show up through your clothes, your grooming, your posture. Let every detail reflect ambition, self-respect, and discipline. When you walk in looking sharp, standing tall, and speaking clearly, people don't just see someone, they see someone who matters. Your presence doesn't end with appearance or tone. It extends into something more subtle but far more powerful: the energy you bring into every space, your ability to connect authentically, and your awareness of the emotional current in a room. People can feel energy before words are ever spoken. That's why presence requires sensitivity to social dynamics. Pay attention. Observe not just what people say, but how they say it. Listen fully, not to respond, but to truly understand. Engage with thoughtful responses. This alone separates you from the noise of the world. The most magnetic people aren't just confident. They make others feel seen, heard, and valued. Charisma is not dominance, it's the balance of strength and warmth. It's authority without arrogance, presence without pressure. If you want to be unforgettable, learn this. People remember how you made them feel. They are drawn to those who radiate calm, clarity, and compassion. Observe body language. Mirror positive energy. Match tone with intention. Your goal is to create an environment where others feel safe, respected, and energized just by being around you. Cultivating true presence is a lifelong commitment, but it starts today. Today is the day you stop disappearing into the background. Today is the day you stop blending in, not by demanding attention, but by becoming the version of yourself that naturally commands it. Presence isn't only about how others see you, it's about how you feel within yourself. When you walk with certainty, when you speak with self-trust, the world responds accordingly. Walk like you belong. Speak like you are meant to be heard. Move as if you've already stepped into your highest self. The more you practice this energy, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, your presence won't be something you try to project, it will simply become part of who you are. And when that happens, people won't just notice you, they'll remember you. Upgrade your style. Refine your grooming. Invest in your appearance, but don't stop there. Speak with authority. Cut the filler words. Eliminate the nervous giggles, the the hunched posture. Replace them with clarity, calm, and command. Learn to listen more than you speak, because those who speak the least but mean the most are often the ones who get remembered. People respect composure. People trust stillness. And now, so will you. Day 5. Relentless execution. This is the day where theory ends and movement begins. No more waiting. No more overthinking. From this point forward, you act. Even if the path ahead isn't crystal clear, you move anyway. You take calculated risks. You stop making excuses. You learn to walk into the unknown with intention. Because execution isn't a gift, it's a discipline, a muscle. And like any muscle, it needs to be trained daily, with focused effort. Every time you act, you build confidence. And the more confidence you build, the more courage you gain to act again. Action fuels belief. Belief fuels action. This is the upward spiral that separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. Start small, but start now. Don't wait for a flawless plan. Don't wait for motivation. Pick one action, one real, tangible step that moves you closer to your goal. That could mean applying for that job, publishing that post, initiating that difficult conversation, launching the idea you've shelved for months, or simply getting out of bed with purpose today. Whatever it is, do it, without hesitation. This is how you prove to yourself that you are not most people. Most people wait. You act. You move. You build. Marcus Aurelius said it clearly. You should not be discussing what a good man is like. You should be one. That is the essence of Stoic execution. Less theory, more doing. Stop analyzing. Stop doubting. Start building momentum through real, physical motion. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless, it's about being unshaken. It teaches that hesitation and fear are traps, tools of comfort, and the Stoics didn't fear discomfort, they prepared for it. That's where premeditatio malorum comes in, the practice of mentally rehearsing obstacles before they appear. When you expect resistance, you're not surprised by it, you're ready. Failure, then, becomes a lesson, a sharpening stone. Seneca said it well, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Every challenge is a tool. Every setback builds strength. Your job isn't to avoid the fall, it's to rise faster each time you hit the ground. Another key Stoic principle is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that there are two domains, what you can control and what you can't. Most people obsess over the wrong one. You can't control people, outcomes, or luck. But you can control your effort, your choices, your focus, your execution. Let go of everything else. To embody this kind of Stoic execution, you must act quickly and decisively like a general on the battlefield. No hesitation, no second guessing. Every decision is a step forward, even if it's messy. Because success doesn't come from perfect execution, it comes from consistent motion and fearless course correction. The Stoics understood something most people never grasp. Inaction is the true source of regret. People don't look back and regret failing. They regret never trying. They regret hesitating. They regret wasting time. So today, you begin the process of eliminating hesitation one step at a time. And to maintain it, you must build accountability. Tell someone what you're doing. Set deadlines. Attach consequences to your promises. Create systems that force your follow-through. Because the real enemy isn't failure, it's comfort. And if you let comfort stay, execution dies. When you deliberately introduce discomfort into your life, you rewire your brain to no longer fear it but to see it as a stepping stone to greatness. Waking up earlier than usual, embracing tasks that stretch you, stepping into situations that make your hands shake, these are not punishments. They are training grounds. Execution requires decisiveness. Every second you spend doubting yourself is a second stolen by hesitation. And hesitation is the silent killer of dreams. The world's greatest leaders, inventors, warriors, what sets them apart isn't that they always made the right decisions. It's that they made decisions quickly, boldly. And when they were wrong, they didn't freeze, they adapted. You must train yourself to do the same. Trust your gut, move with speed, and never let indecision define you. Bold action inspires confidence not just in you, but in everyone watching you. The world respects clarity, even more than perfection. When you act with certainty, even when unsure, people follow. To strengthen your ability to execute, adopt what the Stoics would call radical responsibility. Accept that no one is coming to rescue you. No mentor, no friend, no circumstance will do the work for you. You are fully responsible for your growth, your action, your results. The moment you internalize this truth, excuses dissolve, blame fades. You stop pointing fingers outward and start aiming your energy inward toward decisive action. The road to mastery is not smooth. It's littered with failures, missteps, and setbacks. But the ones who become great aren't the ones who never fall, they're the ones who keep getting up. Over and over, unshaken. When you let go of perfection and focus on progress, you become unstoppable. You don't need all the answers today. You just need to act today. One of the most effective tools for sharpening execution is to review and refine consistently. Build a simple daily ritual. What did I accomplish today? What worked? What didn't? What needs to change? Reflect without judgment. Adjust your strategy, but never, ever stop moving forward. This is how you accelerate your growth, by staying in motion and evolving with every step. And don't underestimate the force of momentum. The hardest part is always the beginning. But once you start, once you overcome that initial resistance, your actions compound. A small win today becomes a bigger win tomorrow. Every step reinforces your identity as someone who executes. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. This is the cycle of relentless progress. This is what separates the unstoppable from the unsure. The time for hesitation is over. The era of waiting, overthinking, and hiding behind potential ends now. It's time to step forward with clarity. To become the type of person who makes things happen, regardless of how you feel. Because this isn't just about checking off goals. It's about becoming someone who walks through life with purpose, direction, and quiet power. Execution is the foundation of all greatness. It's what builds empires. It's what rewrites identities. So now you're left with one question. Will you stay stuck in hesitation? Or will you step forward and claim the life that's waiting for you? Choose one goal today. Just one. Take massive, unapologetic action on it. No more hesitation, because the longer you hesitate, the weaker you become. But the more you move, the more unstoppable you become. Once you start taking action without hesitation and step into a proactive mindset, it's time to reinforce that determination with something essential, building a solid personal system so that action becomes a lasting habit. Day 6. Build a personal system. Success doesn't come from bursts of motivation, it comes from building systems. Structures, routines that keep you on track even when you don't feel like showing up. Motivation is a spark, but systems? Systems are firewood. They keep you burning long after the initial excitement fades. Because no matter how ambitious your goals are, you won't rise to them by accident. In fact, as the Stoics would say, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. This is where true consistency begins. On days when your energy is low or life gets chaotic, a strong system catches you. It keeps you moving forward, even if only a little. It's your safety net against excuses. And the only thing that separates those who succeed long-term from those who don't isn't talent or intelligence. It's structure. It's predictability. It's routine. The people who win consistently are not the most motivated. They are the most systematic. They've built a framework around their goals so that progress becomes inevitable, not optional. So how do you do the same? Start by identifying the core habits that drive the results you want. Not the fancy ones, not the trendy ones, just the few, non-negotiable daily actions that create compounding growth over time. Then break those habits down. Simplify them. Turn them into small, repeatable actions you can do every single day. From there, build your environment around those habits. Structure your space. Eliminate distractions. Design your day in a way that makes productivity the default, not a choice you struggle to make. When you do this, execution becomes automatic. You remove friction. You eliminate decision fatigue. You stop wasting energy asking, "Should I do this?" because it's already part of the plan. Want to eat clean? Prepare meals in advance. Want to work out daily? Schedule it like a meeting. Want to grow mentally? Set a fixed time for reading or reflection. The fewer decisions you need to make, the more mental power you preserve for what actually matters, taking action. This is what the most successful people in history did. They weren't just inspired, they were systematic. They created daily structures that removed the need for constant motivation. Systems gave them freedom because they no longer depended on how they felt to do what mattered. To build your own system, do 3 things. Track your progress, know what's working and what's not. Refine constantly, your system isn't static. Adjust it as you grow. Reinforce wins, create small rewards or accountability tools to lock in the right behaviors. Because success doesn't come from occasional effort. It comes from showing up day after day, with discipline, and without excuse. The Stoics lived this truth long before modern productivity hacks. They understood that progress isn't left to chance. As Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. They didn't hope for success. They built structured systems to ensure it. One of the most powerful tools the Stoics used to maintain clarity and growth was structured self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously wrote daily in his meditations not to impress anyone, but to align his actions and thoughts with his values. That wasn't just journaling, that was a system. By engaging in regular review of your actions, your decisions, your progress, you ensure that your development isn't left to chance. You don't wait to feel good about your day. You analyze what worked and refine what didn't. And in doing so, you take control of your growth not emotionally, but logically. That's what a true system gives you. A structure that protects you from your own emotions. Now let's take this deeper with a core Stoic principle, the dichotomy of control. As Epictetus taught, we must direct our energy only toward what we can control: our actions, decisions, mindset, and release what we cannot, such as outcomes, others' opinions, or external chaos. Your system should reflect that. Design your day around what is entirely within your power. Don't waste time reacting to things that don't move you forward. Don't spend energy debating with uncertainty. Structure your actions so that your focus becomes laser sharp, always aimed at progress you control. And then there's the Stoic concept of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. This principle teaches us that obstacles aren't a question of if but when. So prepare. If you expect resistance, you won't be rattled by it. When you build routines that account for tough moments, days of fatigue, distraction, or doubt, those moments won't derail you. They'll be absorbed into your structure. They'll already be anticipated, and you'll stay composed, focused, and moving forward. That's the power of a Stoic system. It doesn't just help you succeed, it makes success inevitable. You design a life where discipline flows naturally, where every action is part of something larger, where motivation is no longer the fuel, mastery is. In this kind of system, you eliminate randomness, you replace reactivity with rhythm, and you create predictable, high-leverage routines that serve the person you are becoming. Because let's be clear, success doesn't belong to the inspired. It belongs to the prepared. Those who win don't rely on emotion. They rely on structure. They build frameworks that carry them through bad days, distractions, and setbacks. So ask yourself, have you designed a system that makes discipline your default? If not, start now. Set a strict daily schedule. Build routines that align with your long-term goals. Batch similar tasks to reduce distractions and enhance focus. Design your environment to pull you into deep work, not pull you away from it. Prioritize only what moves the needle in your life and cut the rest. When you build your days this way, progress stops being conditional. You don't need to feel motivated. You just need to follow the system. And once your system is in place, dialed in and working, you'll start to notice something incredible. You no longer recognize who you used to be. Once your personal system has been established and is running smoothly, you begin to feel a profound shift, as if you are becoming a different person. But true transformation is not just a temporary phase, it is a permanent evolution. Day 7. Solidify your new identity. You are not the same person you were just a week ago. Your thoughts have sharpened. Your habits have changed. Your posture, your focus, your presence, everything about you has evolved. But transformation isn't complete until it's solidified, until it becomes part of who you are without effort, without second guessing. The greatest danger now is not failure. It's reverting. Because the mind loves familiarity. It clings to what it knows, even if what it knows is weakness, limitation, or self-doubt. Your old self will try to resurface. Not loudly, but subtly, in habits, in temptations, in old thought patterns whispering, "Just this once." You must be vigilant. Every choice you make from this point forward either reinforces your new identity or pulls you back into the old one. There is no neutral ground. This is the day you anchor the new you, not just in intention, but in consistent action. It begins by declaring your identity. Say it out loud. Write it down. Know exactly who you are now, not who you were. Not who you wish to be, but who you've already become through this process. You are disciplined. You are focused. You are the kind of person who follows through. Now, act like it. Let your behaviors match your beliefs. Let your systems reinforce your standards. Let your daily rituals become proof not just to the world, but to yourself that this version of you is real and here to stay. And when moments of weakness show up, because they will, you don't fight them emotionally. You remind yourself logically, that is no longer who I am. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for someone to say, "You've changed." You already have. But change is fragile. Only consistency makes it permanent. So from this day forward, your mission is not to keep trying. It's to keep being. You already made the shift. Now you maintain it with structure, protect it with awareness, and strengthen it with relentless discipline. This is what true transformation looks like, not an emotional high, but a conscious commitment to never look back. There is no neutral zone. Every moment, every decision, every action there votes. Votes for the person you are becoming. If you want to lock in this transformation not as a phase, but as a permanent shift, you must reinforce it again and again. Through discipline, through conscious choices, through repetition, even when no one is watching. Set a long-term vision, one that stretches beyond this week. Where do you see yourself in 30 days? In 1 year? What does your life look like when this new identity is fully matured, unshakable? Write that vision down. Review it daily. Visualize it with clarity and conviction. Let it burn into your subconscious until it becomes your compass, so every action, every habit, every response aligns with the future you're building. Your system is not fixed. Refine it, sharpen it, make it stronger. As your identity evolves, so should the structure that supports it. Growth must remain your baseline, not a surprise, but an expectation. And just as important, curate your environment fiercely. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, the spaces you live in. All of them either reinforce who you are becoming or pull you quietly back into who you used to be. Let go of anything that doesn't serve your evolution. If it distracts, diminishes, or drags you down, cut it, without guilt, without hesitation. Because this isn't the end of your transformation. This is day one of your new reality. Today is the day you stop dabbling in change and take full ownership of your new identity. You've done something in 1 week that most never accomplish in a lifetime. You've proven that transformation doesn't have to be slow or complicated. It just has to be intentional. Now live it, breathe it, embody it. Look back at this week and ask yourself, which changes had the biggest impact? Which habits gave me energy and clarity? Which systems felt natural, and which need refinement? Write it all down. Document the new blueprint of your life. Then ask yourself a deeper question. Who am I now? What do I stand for? What will I never tolerate again? Because just 7 days ago, you were a different person. Today, you stand renewed, restructured from the inside out. And if you could do this in 1 week, imagine who you could become in 1 month, 1 year, 1 lifetime. Most people? They'll wake up tomorrow exactly as they did yesterday. Unchanged. Unaware. Unwilling. But not you. You've chosen the harder path, the path of absolute transformation. The only question left now is, will you continue to rise? Or will you allow yourself to drift back into the familiar arms of mediocrity? The choice is yours, but remember, once you've seen the truth, you can never unsee it. You now have the blueprint. You've built the foundation. The only thing left is for you to execute. You've just proven that in 7 days, you can transform your life. Now imagine what's possible in 30, in 300, in a lifetime. The power is already within you. All that's left is the choice to keep rising. So keep moving, keep growing, and never settle. If this message awakened something in you, follow the channel, hit subscribe, and let's walk this journey of greatness together. Because your next level isn't waiting. It's already calling.